Okay, is my voice clear to all of you? Okay, all right. So guys, I'll just share my screen to all of you. Just tell me if it is visible or not. Okay, is it visible now? Okay, nice. So guys, what we are studying right now in the last lecture, what we studied. So can anybody tell me the lesson name or the name of the chapter? Yes, anybody among you? Okay, this is the okay. Are we studying about geography or history? What are we studying about? This is history lecture, okay? Hello. So guys, I'm audible to everyone. Just tell me because I think we have some problem here. Okay, voice is breaking, na? Okay, then wait for a while. Okay, it is not breaking for some people and breaking for some other. Guys, just wait for some time. Okay, 1 to 2 minutes because my data has exhausted, I think. Okay, till I recharge. Wait. Yes, hello everyone. Okay, I'm back once again. There was some network problem. Okay, not network problem. My data was exhausted. So I just recharge right now. I think everything will be clear. So now we will directly go for the lesson. Okay, we will directly see which lesson we are studying right now. Okay, see, this is your textbook. Here is your second lesson, that is India and the important events that happened after the 1960s. So we completed the 1960s, 1970s, 1980s, okay, 1990s. That we have also seen. Okay, the changes after 1990 when we have seen what important event happened in India in world. We have seen. After that, we studied about the economy. That in India, we adopted the LPG reforms. Okay, liberalization, privatization, and globalization. Okay, जागतिकीकरण, उदारीकरण, and next one is खासगीकरण. Okay, we can say. सो इन सब चीजें ये सब बातें हमने लास्ट लेक्चर में वी हैव स्टडीड अबाउट दिस. सो व्हाट इज रिमेनिंग इन दिस लेसन? सो साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी, changes in social field, and the globalization. These are the three topics that we will cover in this lesson, and likewise that we will complete the lesson. Okay, so I hope this is visible to all of you. Okay, is it visible to everyone? And let me ask you that guys, do you have any doubt regarding previous topics that we have studied? Okay, all right. So now I will start the lesson. See, science and technology, विज्ञान आणि तंत्रज्ञान. Okay, two major events must be mentioned while describing India's efforts towards self-reliance. So guys, we know that okay, right from our independence, okay, the aim of our governments at that time also was to make our economy and our country self-sufficient, self-reliant. Okay, हमें अपने खुद के पैरों पे खड़ा होना था, हमें अपनी इकोनॉमी अच्छी बनानी थी, और जो भी जरूरी चीजें हमारी कंट्री के लिए थी, हमारे लोगों के लिए थी, so we should be self-reliant in that. Okay, so two major events must be mentioned while describing India's effort. So India was adding its effort to make its economy, make our country self-reliant and self-sufficient. So in that field, two major events happened in after 1999, okay, or after 1990s. That two major events happened, okay, that are for the self-reliance of India. Dr. E.M.S. Swaminathan is known as the father of green revolution in 1965. Okay, so basically guys, this is not just about 1990s. Okay, it is right from our independence. So two important events. What are these two important events? We will just see right now. Dr. M.S. Swaminathan, okay, he is known as the father of green revolution in 1965. तो हुआ क्या, जब हम इंडिपेंडेंट हुए उस वक्त हमारे देश में जो हमारे लिए गेहूं बाजरा चाहिए, ओके, जो अन्न धान्य थे, वी कैन से फूड ग्रेन्स, ओके, देयर वाज वेरी डेफिशिएंट. ओके, देयर वाज अ डेफिशिएंसी ऑफ ऑल दिस थिंग. हमारे पास इतनी सारी फूड ग्रेन्स नहीं थी, ओके, सो दैट वी कैन प्रोवाइड इट टू आवर पीपल्स. इसलिए हमारी जो नीड थी वो फिलफिल नहीं हो रही थी. तो क्या किया गवर्नमेंट ने, एक स्कीम निकाली, और वी कैन से एक इनिशिएटिव लिया, कुछ एफर्ट्स लिए. उसमें डॉक्टर एम एस स्वामीनाथन जो थे, ओके, वो थे हमारे इंडिया की तरफ से, हमारे गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से. उन्होंने क्या किया, देश में ग्रीन रिवॉल्यूशन लाई. मतलब क्या, हरित क्रांति. अभी हरित क्रांति में क्या हुआ, जो गेहूं का उत्पादन था हमारे देश में वो बहुत ज्यादा बढ़ा दिया. ओके, how he did that? He implemented new scientific agricultural techniques and increased the production of food grains. So basically in 1965, when India was not self-sufficient or self-reliant for the food grains, we were importing all these things to fulfill our needs for our population. Okay, so Dr. M.S. Swaminathan did one thing. He implemented new scientific agriculture techniques and increased the production of food grains in India. That's why he is called as a father of green evolution in India. Okay, in 1965, he did that experiment. So what happened because of this? A large amount of food grain was okay, very high or large amount of food grain produced in India. The production of food grain reaches to its height, and because of that, we did not require to import it from the outside world. Okay, जो भी हमारी जरूरत थी हमारे देश में ही उतना उत्पादन होने लगा. Okay, so the experiment in cooperative dairy movement by Dr. Varghese Kurian led to increase of milk production in India. Okay, likewise, green revolution. Why it is called as green revolution? Because it is related to plants, and we know plants are green. And likewise, the same thing happened by in the dairy industry. Okay, the experiment in cooperative dairy movement. What does mean? जो सहकारी तत्व पे चलना रही जो चलने वाली जो डेयरी इंडस्ट्री हमारे पास में. ओके, तो उसमें डॉक्टर वर्गीस कुरियन जो थे उन्होंने कुछ एक्सपेरिमेंट्स किए. सो बिकॉज ऑफ दैट व्हाट हैपेंड, that experiments led to increase of milk production in India. Because of that, as in green revolution, food grain increased, production of food grain increased. Likewise, in the white revolution, the production of the milk increased in India. Okay, but Dr. Varghese Kurian is important from the point of view of a white revolution, and M.S. Swaminathan is important from the point of view of green revolution. Okay, so these two important events that happened in India for the self-reliance, because whatever the milk we require, whatever the food grains we require, we started to production. We started its production in our country only. Okay, so do you understand it? That in 1965, under the supervision of M.S. Swaminathan, green revolution took place, and in green revolution he implemented scientific agricultural techniques and increased the production of food grains so that India become the self-reliant in the field of food grains. The same thing happened. Okay, the experiment took place in the cooperative dairy farming by Varghese Kurian. Okay, and because of this it resulted into the increase in milk production. That's why as the milk is white, this production increase is called as the white revolution. Okay, so because of these two important events, India become in self-reliant in the field of food grains and the milk production. Now, India had also made a lot of progress in the field of atomic energy and space research. Okay, atomic energy means study of atomic world, or we can say the study of atoms at we can say nanometer level, or we can say micrometer level. Okay, micro level. So India also has made the progress, the development in the field of atomic energy and also in the space research. So basically in the field of space research, which organization is working? Do you know? Do you people know that in the field of space research, which Indian organization is related to that? Do you know that? Okay, Ayush is saying ISRO. What about other students? Kadambari don't know. Okay, so it is ISRO. Okay, ISRO stands for Indian Space Research Organization. Okay, is it clear, Kadambari? Okay, you guys are aware. Ayush, okay, Vinith. Okay, you people know about this. Okay, so India made the progress in the field of atomic energy and space research. And now, do you know that which organization is working in the field of atomic energy? Yes, Vinith, it is Bhabha Atomic. Okay, do you know other students? Yes, it is the BARC. We can say BARC, Bhabha Atomic Research Center. The same organization in which our Santosh Takle sir is working. Okay, Santosh Takle sir is working in the same organization, that is Bhabha Atomic Research Center, that is BARC in short. See here, Dr. Homi Bhabha led the foundation of Indian Atomic Power Program. Okay, see, Dr. Homi Bhabha. Okay, so that organization is named after him. That is his name taken as Bhabha Atomic Research Center. So that's why Dr. Bhabha, Homi Bhabha was the main person, okay, who founded the Indian Atomic Power Program. Okay, under his leadership, under his supervision, we can say Indian government started this Indian Atomic Power Program. India insisted on using atomic energy for peaceful purposes like generation of electricity, pharmaceuticals, and defense. Okay, so basically, guys, we all of you know that atomic energy can be useful also and can be devastating also. Yes, you know it. If it is useful, if we use it for the peaceful purpose, for the useful okay purpose, for the people's growth, then we can use it to create the production of the electricity. We can generate the electricity with the help of atomic energy, and we can also make the atomic weapons. We can make the nuclear bomb from the atomic energy, right? But atomic energy, if it is used for the nuclear weapons, then it is very bad thing, or it is a, we can say it is very devastating if it is used. We know that what happens when America used uh, nuclear weapons at Nagasaki and Hiroshima, that is in the Japan. Okay, so but India is not doing it for the bad purposes. Okay, it is used for the peaceful purpose. So what is peaceful purpose? We can use the technology of atomic energy in the field of pharmaceuticals, in the medical field. Okay, मेडिकल फील्ड में भी हम एटॉमिक एनर्जी का यूज कर सकते हैं. जिस प्रकार हम एक्सरे निकालते हैं, सीटी स्कैन निकालते हैं, एमआरआई निकालते हैं. ओके, उसमें भी एटॉमिक एनर्जी का इस्तेमाल हो किया जाता है, उसकी टेक्निक, उसका साइंस यूज किया जाता है. उसी प्रकार we can use the atomic energy as a power source to generate the electricity. All right, electricity can also be generated with the help of atomic energy, and also for the defense. Okay, guys, for the defense purpose also we are using it. But what is our, we can say, deterrence strategy? Our strategy is no first use policy on the nuclear weapons. So that's why we are using it for the peaceful purpose. India has achieved considerable success in the space technology as well. Okay, ISRO is the organization. So in that field also, in the space research also, India has made the good progress. We can take the example of the moon mission of India. Okay, the Chandrayaan mission of India. Also Mars mission is there. We are launching various satellites of different countries, okay, from worldwide, okay, in their orbit they require. So likewise that we have achieved considerable success in the space technology as well. In 1975, the first satellite Aryabhatta was launched. Now see, from 1975 we are, our ISRO is active. Okay, and in the 1975, in the year of 1975, we launched our first satellites, and the name of that satellite was Aryabhatta. Okay, okay, for your information, जो भी हमारे उस वक्त के सैटेलाइट के जो पार्ट थे, जिनको जोड़कर, ओके, हमारा सैटेलाइट बना आर्यभट्ट, वो जो सब सैटेलाइट्स थे उस वक्त हमारे पास कुछ गाड़ी भी नहीं थी, कुछ गाड़ियां भी नहीं थी जिसमें हम वो पार्ट्स ला सके. हमने वो पार्ट्स साइकिल पे लाए. ओके, और साइकिल पे लाकर वो आपस में असेंबल कर लिए, और उसके बाद जाके हमारा सैटेलाइट बना, हमारा रॉकेट बना। ओके, इस प्रकार हमने बहुत सी we can say we have made a much struggle in the field of space research. Okay, our scientists have made much struggle to make the India proud now. Okay, today India has a successful space program and many satellites have been launched under this program. See, in 1975, we were using cycles for the transportation of our rockets, our satellites. Okay, but right now we have developed too much. Okay, we have made the development in the field of space research, and now we have our separate programs for the space research. Under this program, we are launching different satellites for different countries. Also, we are launching different missions to Mars, to the Moon, also to the Sun. Also, okay. India has also made considerable advancement in the telecom sector. Okay, what in the field of telecom sector means? In the dish TV, what we are using, in the mobile, all these things are considered under the telecom sector. And all this field require the satellites, good satellites, big satellites to work. And because of the space program, what we have did, we have launched too much satellites, many satellites we required to us in the space. And from that, we get proper services in India, okay, in the telecom sector. Okay, so all this progress has happened in the science and technology field in India. Okay, from the independence. That is green revolution, white revolution. After that, the atomic energy research is there, space research technology is there. Okay, so is it clear to everyone? Anybody having any issue, any doubt, any problem in this? ओके, ऑल राइट। तो किसी को भी कोई डाउट है नहीं? ओके, होगा भी कोई डाउट तो यू कैन आस्क मी एनी टाइम। See the next second last point from the lesson. Changes in the social field. Now see, we know that when people, okay, from independence, our society was not much developed. Okay, there was a caste-based discrimination in between the people. Okay, जात के आधार पर लोगों में बहुत सारे बंटवारा होता था. Okay, or people were not getting proper justice in the society. Okay, social justice was not getting to the people in the British rule. But after we get independence, okay, we had our we made our own constitution. Okay, and in that constitution, what we have done, we have given the social justice. But now we will see that because of the different policies of the Indian government from the independence to right now, what changes has been brought up or what changes has been taken place in the field of social, we can say, in the society. Okay, by implementing different policies for the country, I mean the people in the country. Okay, so we will just see it in brief. During this period, there were several major changes in the social field in India. Okay, some of the changes are related with the issues of empowerment of women. Okay, and others are related with the policies regarding the uplift of deprived sections of the society. So guys, हमें पता है कि from the independence there were some people in the society. Okay, समाज में कुछ वर्ग थे, कुछ सेक्शंस थे, कुछ क्लास थे कि जो सभी सोशल सुविधा से, सभी फैसिलिटीज से वो वंचित थे. ओके, उन्हें प्रॉपर वी कैन से जस्टिस नहीं मिल रहा था, प्रॉपर वी कैन से बेनिफिट्स नहीं मिल रहे थे गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से. ओके, तो क्या हुआ, all these things started to change in the India. Okay, during this period means after, we can say, all scientific development okay, that were starting in the country. In the same time, some of the changes are related with the issue of the empowerment woman. Okay, we know that there were very less rights for the woman in country. हमारे यहाँ पितृसत्ताक जो पद्धति है, okay, कि जो मेल होते हैं उनको ज्यादा वी कैन से इम्पोर्टेंस दिया जाता है। ओके, मेल डोमिनेटेड सोसाइटी। ओके, पितृसत्ताक पद्धति वी कैन से। ओके, तो क्या हुआ, वुमेन्स को भी हमारे बराबर खड़ा करने के लिए, जेंट्स के बराबर खड़ा करने के लिए, मेल के बराबर खड़ा करने के लिए, लेडीज को भी, कि वुमन को भी एम्पावर करना शुरू किया। ओके, सो टू एम्पावर वुमेन्स there were different rules, different acts, okay, were made by the government of India. Okay, so what different changes in the society field, social field took place in India? So some changes are related with the issue of empowerment woman. Now what is empowerment of woman? Empowerment woman is nothing but to make woman to stand on her feet. Okay, to make her self reliant. Okay, she should not be depend on the okay, or not on the man's for her livelihood we can say। अपने पैर पे खड़ी रह सके इसलिए उसको सभी सुविधा देना, उसके लिए कुछ पॉलिसीज बनाना, उसके लिए कुछ लॉ बनाना। ओके, कुछ एक्ट्स बनाना, उसके लिए कुछ अपॉर्चुनिटीज क्रिएट करना। सो फॉर दिस पर्पज, okay, so these were some changes related to the empowerment women, and other changes were related to the policies regarding uplift of deprived sections of the society। जिस प्रकार मैंने आपको पहले बताया कि समाज में कुछ वर्ग ऐसे थे कि जिनको सरकार की जो पॉलिसीज थी उनका फायदा नहीं होता था, उनको कंसिडर नहीं किया जाता था, बहुत सारे असुविधा से वो वंचित रहते, डिप्राइव्ड रहते थे, और समाज में भी उनको बहुत ज्यादा वी कैन से मान सम्मान नहीं मिलता था बिकॉज ऑफ देयर कास्ट वी कैन से। ओके, सो गवर्नमेंट मेड सम पॉलिसीज टू अपलिफ्ट, उनको ऊपर उठाने के लिए, बाकी लोगों के साथ मिलाने के लिए, ओके, समाज के मेन स्ट्रीम में लाने के लिए उनके रिगार्डिंग कुछ पॉलिसीज गवर्नमेंट ने बनाई। ओके, टू प्रमोट द ऑल राउंड डेवलपमेंट ऑफ वुमेन एंड चिल्ड्रन, a separate department of women and child development was created in 1985 under the Ministry of Human Resource Development। Okay, human resource development। So basically, to promote all-round development of women and children, we know that women and children were treated very, we can say not badly, but there were some problems with the children's and with related with the woman. So to empower them, to make the all-round development of women and children, a special department was made by the Indian government, okay, in 1985। 1985 में एक डिपार्टमेंट बनाया गया, एक विभाग बनाया गया, एक खाता बनाया गया। उस खाते का नाम था डेवलपमेंट ऑफ वुमेन एंड चाइल्ड डेवलपमेंट, डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ वुमेन एंड चाइल्ड डेवलपमेंट, मतलब महिला और बाल कल्याण और बाल विकास का खाता। सो दिस department was created in 1985 under the Ministry of Human Resource Development, मनुष्यबल विकास मंत्री we can say, मैन पावर डेवलपमेंट, ओके, ह्यूमन रिसोर्स डेवलपमेंट। सो उस मिनिस्ट्री के अंदर एक और डिपार्टमेंट बनाया गया और उसको नाम दिया गया वुमेन एंड चाइल्ड डेवलपमेंट डिपार्टमेंट। Some laws were made to ensure social justice to women and to help the implementation of various schemes in this direction। So now what we have to empower the woman and child, we have to develop woman and child, we have to uplift them, okay, we have to give them the equality, okay, proper benefits same as the man। For that purpose some laws were made, okay, so that we can ensure, yes, social justice to women and children are giving, people are giving justice, or government is giving justice to women and children for their development, and also the implementation of various schemes in this direction। So we also implemented some schemes so that people, women and children will get developed। They include the prohibition of dowry act। ओके, जो दहेज दिया जाता है, जो हुंडा दिया जाता है, वी कैन से मराठीमध्ये त्याला हुंडा म्हटलं जातं, सो हिंदीमध्ये इट इज कॉल्ड एज दहेज, और इंग्लिश में डाउरी। सो बेसिकली हमने क्या किया, गवर्नमेंट ने डाउरी एक्ट पास किया, मतलब हुंडा विरोधी कायदा, और जो दहेज दिया जाता है उसके विरोध में एक एक्ट बना दिया, एक लॉ बना दिया। तो अगर कोई लड़की को कोई लड़का शादी के लिए अगर दहेज मांगता है तो लड़की पुलिस में जा सकती है, वहां पर कंप्लेंट दर्ज करा सकती है कि ये आदमी मुझसे दहेज मांग रहा है शादी के लिए। तो कानून के अंडर उस आदमी को प्रॉपर सजा हो सकती है, उसको कुछ वी कैन से फाइन भी हो सकता है। So dowry act was created for the empowerment of women. So because of that, what happened? Women will not exploited, okay, by the males. Also, Equal Remuneration Act, as per the 73rd and 24th Constitutional Amendment. अभी देखिए इक्वल रिम्यूनरेशन मीन्स व्हाट। अभी एक ही काम अगर एक आदमी और एक औरत कर रही है, ओके, इफ सेम वर्क इज डन बाय अ मैन एंड वुमन, देन दे शुड बी पेड सेम अमाउंट ऑफ मनी। अगर एक ही काम आदमी और औरत कर रहा है तो उसको सेम पेमेंट दिया जाना चाहिए, उसको सेम वेतन दिया जाना चाहिए। आप सिर्फ इस आधार पर कोई भेदभाव नहीं कर सकते। यू कैनॉट मेक डिस्क्रिमिनेशन, ओके, बाय थिंकिंग दैट शी इज वुमन, दैट्स व्हाई वी आर नॉट गिविंग हिम more money, okay, and that is a man and we are giving him more amount of money. So you cannot discriminate on the basis of this men and women or on the basis of gender. So for the same thing, to ensure that same equality, one act was passed by the amendment, constitutional amendment. So that amendment was 73rd and 74th constitutional amendment. So according to that, what happened? Women were given equal remunerations, okay, Equal Remuneration Act. Also, seats were reserved for women in the local self-governing bodies. So basically, what happens in India, there were very less amount of people, women, we can say, okay, in the field of self-governing body. Have self-government body, which are it self-governing bodies? Basically, ग्राम पंचायत, ओके, नगर पालिका, नगर परिषद, महानगर पालिका, पंचायत समिति, okay, all these things, these are the self governing bodies. Now 50% reservation is given for the women, okay, in these elections. अगर किसी ग्राम पंचायत में 10 सीट होंगे तो उसमें 5 सीट किसी औरत के होंगे, वुमेन्स को ही उस पर टिकट मिल जाएगा, ओके। पहले क्या होता था, सभी 10 के 10 जो सीट थे वहां पर कोई आदमी चुनकर आता था, मेन चुनकर आना आता था, इसलिए जो वुमन थी उसको प्रॉपर इक्वालिटी नहीं मिल रही थी, प्रॉपर जस्टिस नहीं मिल रहा था, ओके। तो उसको ही सुधारने के लिए, उसी डेवलपमेंट के लिए, वुमेन को इक्वालिटी देने के लिए 73rd और 74th अमेंडमेंट किया। मतलब हमारा जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन है उसमें 73वीं बार एक बदल किया गया, एक चेंज किया गया, और 74वीं बार भी 74वीं बार भी एक चेंज किया गया। मतलब ये जो दो चेंजेस किए गए, दो चेंजेस, उसकी वजह से वुमेन्स को इक्वल रिमरेशन मिल गया। ऑल्सो उनको सेल्फ गवर्निंग बॉडीज में सीट भी मिल गई। So is it clear to everyone that what are different acts that were passed to empower the woman? Dowry Prohibition Act, okay, Equal Remuneration Act, according to the amendment of 73rd and 74th Constitutional Amendment. Also, the seats were reserved for the women in the self-governing bodies. Okay, according to the makers of Indian Constitution, some constituents of the Indian society were deprived of dignity and equal opportunities due to caste system. So guys, we know that there was a caste system in India. हमारे भारत में जो जातिवाद की प्रथा थी कि कुछ जातियां थी उच्च क्लास की थी, कुछ जातियां है वो निम्न स्तर की है, ओके, उनको समाज में सम्मान नहीं मिलता था, ओके, पीपल वेयर एक्सप्लॉइटिंग देम। जो अपर कास्ट पीपल थे, ओके, दिस पीपल वेयर exploiting the lower class people. So because of that, they were not getting the equal opportunities. Means what? They are not getting proper representation in the constitution, I mean in the government, okay. Also they are not getting the Okay, guys, am I audible to everyone? Okay, all right, guys. Guys, just wait for a minute. Okay, guys. So we are back again. So guys, we know that हमारे समाज में कुछ क्लास होते हैं कि मतलब अभी तो वो बहुत कम हो गया है, लेकिन पुराने जमाने में और इंडिपेंडेंस के वक्त हमारे क्लास सोसाइटी में बहुत ज्यादा प्रॉब्लम थी कि कुछ अपर क्लास के लोग थे, कुछ लोअर क्लास के लोग थे। सो जो लोअर क्लास के लोग थे उनको अपना कुछ सम्मान नहीं मिलता था, और जो अपर क्लास के लोग थे दे वर एक्सप्लॉइटिंग देम, उनका शोषण किया करते थे। ओके, so what is here they are discussing, we are discussing the same thing according to maker of Indian constitution। अभी ये जो चीज है कि अपर मिडिल अपर क्लास लोअर क्लास, ओके, वो डिस्क्रिमिनेशन होता था, वो उनका एक्सप्लॉइटेशन होता था। सो ये सब चीजें है, ये हमारे जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के मेकर्स थे जिन्होंने हमारा संविधान बनाया उस वक्त, उन लोगों के भी ध्यान में आया कि according to them इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन मेकर्स ऑफ इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन सम कॉन्स्टिट्यूशंस ऑफ द इंडियन सोसाइटी, समाज के कुछ वर्ग वी आर डिप्राइव्ड ऑफ डिग्निटी। मतलब डिग्निटी मतलब सम्मान, प्रतिष्ठा, प्रतिष्ठा, डिग्निटी और लैक ऑफ अपॉर्चुनिटी, इक्वल अपॉर्चुनिटी। समाज में कुछ वर्ग ऐसे हैं, कुछ कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट्स ऐसे हैं, कुछ घटक ऐसे हैं कि जिन्हें दे वेयर डिप्राइव्ड ऑफ डिग्निटी, उनके प्रतिष्ठा से वो वंचित थे, और जो सबको समान अपॉर्चुनिटी मिलनी चाहिए, ओके, सबको समान जॉब मिलनी चाहिए, उससे वो वंचित थे ड्यू टू द कास्ट सिस्टम। और व्हाट व्हाई दिस वाज हैपेंड, बिकॉज देयर वाज अ कास्ट सिस्टम इन इंडिया। द काका साहेब कालेलकर कमीशन was set up in 1953 to make recommendations so as to improve their condition. Now see, we know that our constitution was made in was, we can say, implemented from the 1950, okay, 26 जनवरी 1950s में। तो उसके बाद क्या हुआ, ये जो मेकर्स थे कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के, दे वेयर नो दैट yes some people are deprived of dignity and deprived of equal opportunities because of the caste system. Now we have to make something for them, we have to change this system, okay, for that purpose, for the study purpose, there was one commission was set up, okay, for the study purpose। and what was the name of that commission? Kaka Saheb Kalelkar commission। so the Kaka Saheb Kalelkar commission was set in 1953। so it was set in 1953 to make recommendation, okay, to make the suggestions to the government India। yes, it means they were suggesting that government after the study, they will study all the things in India, all the system, all the caste in India, and they will recommend to Indian government that government do this thing to these people, do that thing, give this scheme to these people, give this we can say make this law for these people, likewise this. For that purpose, Kakasaheb Kalekar Commission was set up. In 1978, a commission was constituted under the chairmanship of B.P. Mandal to study the issue of backward classes. Backward class means मागास वर्ग, ओके, जो मेन स्ट्रीम में नहीं है, ओके, समाज की मुख्य धार से जो दूर है और उनका डेवलपमेंट कुछ कम हुआ, इसलिए वो मागास रहे, पीछे रहे, ओके, वी कैन से समाज का जो पिछला वर्ग है, पिछड़ा हुआ वर्ग, ओके, जो पिछड़े जाति के लोग हैं, पिछड़े समाज है, तो उनका स्टडी करने के लिए again in 1978 one commission was set up, okay, and that commission was set up under the chairmanship of BP Mandal. And what was that doing? It was studying the issue of backward classes in India. इंडिया में जो कुछ बैकवर्ड क्लासेस थे, जो कुछ पिछड़ा समाज था, जो मागास वर्ग था, उनको स्टडी करने के लिए, उनकी सिचुएशन स्टडी करने के लिए ये कमीशन सेटअप हो गया. The policy of reservation was adopted in the order to strengthen the representation of backward section in various society services and institutions. So to make them, we can say, to give them the justice, to backward classes, to give them equal opportunity, what happened? This commission, that is Mandal Commission, gave recommendation to government. Okay, what you have to do? That they told to government, or they suggested to government that we should give the reservation to the backward classes people. Okay, we should give reservation to the backward classes people, backward sections people in various services. जो गवर्नमेंट सर्विसेज है उनमें उन्हें रिजर्वेशन देना चाहिए. इंस्टीट्यूशंस मतलब जो कुछ इंस्टीट्यूशन है गवर्नमेंट के, वहां पर भी रिजर्वेशन देना चाहिए कि इस समाज से इतने लोग यहाँ पर रिक्रूट किए जाएंगे, उनकी यहाँ पर भर्ती होंगी. So is it clear about the commission that was Kakasaheb Kalekar Commission and Mandal Commission? What was the objective of their that commission setup? Who were the chairmen or who were the leaders of that group or that commission? Okay, all right. So the policy of reservation of adopted in order to strengthen the representation of backward section in the various services and institutions. Okay, after the reservation, the people can strengthen their representation, okay, in the government. The government passed the Preservation of Atrocities Act in 1989 to enable those belongings to the scheduled castes and tribes to live with dignity and respect, free from fear, violence and oppression of upper classes. Now guys, गवर्नमेंट ने क्या बनाया 1990, ओके, 90 के आसपास. In 1989, what government did? Government proposed a law. Government passed a law. Government ने एक law pass किया. किसके अगेंस्ट? Prohibition of atrocities. मतलब जो लोअर क्लास के लोग हैं, ओके, उनको अगर कोई उनकी जात से, उनके कास्ट से अगर कोई बोलता है, कुछ गालियां देता है, कुछ वी कैन से उसको शोषण करता है जात के आधार पर, ओके, बेस्ड अपॉन हिज caste, then that person will be jailed or that person will be punished under this law. What is the law? Prevention of atrocities on these lower class peoples. Okay, and this what happened because of this? Because of this Atrocities Act in 1989. Okay, because of this scheduled caste, SC and ST peoples are there. शेड्यूल्ड कास्ट एंड शेड्यूल्ड ट्राइब्स. आपको पता होगा कि SC ST पीपल होते हैं हमारे यहाँ, ओके, अनुसूचित जाति और जमाती के जो लोग होते हैं, ओके, अनुसूचित जाति और जमाती के जो लोग होते हैं उनको एक संरक्षण दिया गया है इस एक्ट के जरिए. उनको एक प्रकार वी कैन से सिक्योर किया गया इस एक्ट के जरिए, क्योंकि पहले लोग क्या करते थे, उस अनुसूचित जाति और जमाती के जो लोग थे उनको उनके जात के आधार पर कुछ भी बोल दिया करते थे. इसके लिए वो क्या करते थे, जो अपर क्लास के लोग थे वो क्या करते थे, उनको ऑपरेस करके थे, ओके, उनके साथ वायलेंस किया करते थे, उनके साथ एक्सप्लॉइटेशन भी किया करते थे. सो टू अवॉइड ऑल दिस थिंग्स, टू प्रिवेंट ऑल दिस एट्रोसिटीज, एट्रोसिटीज मीन अत्याचार, ओके, उनके ऊपर से ये जो अत्याचार है वो वायलेंस दूर करने के लिए, ओके, अपर क्लास से उनका जो एक्सप्लॉइटेशन हो रहा था वो कम करने के लिए, ओके, उनके मन में से फियर निकालने के लिए कि अपर क्लास के लोग हमें कुछ करेंगे, ये करेंगे, वो करेंगे, मारेंगे, वो फियर दूर करने के लिए ये जो एक्ट है इसने मदद की. क्या एक्ट है? प्रिवेंशन ऑफ एट्रोसिटीज एक्ट. Because of this act, what happened? The people get the constitutional. These people get security from the constitution itself, from the police, from the government. That you will get proper treatment from all the peoples in the society. And if somebody tries to exploit you, somebody tries to make any atrocities on you, then under this Prevention of Atrocity Act, which was passed in 1999, I mean 1989, you that person who will exploit, who will make the atrocities on this lower class people will get jailed or will get punished. Okay, so all these good things in the society happen. Okay, changes in the social field. So all these things we have seen in the field of social field. Okay, in the sector of social field, that what important changes, what important events that took place in the field of society in India. Okay, because of that women and children get empowered. Okay, lower class people who were deprived of dignity, who were deprived of equal opportunities, they get the dignity in the society, they get the pride in the society, and they get the equal opportunity because of the reservations for them in different services in India and different institutions in the India. Is it clear to everyone now? Okay. Yes, Vinit, what is this? Yes, Restify. Okay, yes, Restify by 6. 1 by 10th of yes. Okay, anybody having any doubt? We will complete the last point of the lesson now. That is globalization. Okay, what do you mean by globalization? Anybody know it? What is globalization? So globalization is nothing but connecting whole world together. It is not population, okay? It is not just population. Globalization means we can go anywhere in the world with the help of visas. We can buy something there, we can establish our companies over there, we can trade there. So this is nothing but all the interrelated things to each other. We can import the different things to other from other countries, and we can export different things from our country to other country. So basically we get interconnected to each other, and the same thing is called as the globalization. Okay, not the pollution, it is जागतिकीकरण इन द मराठी. जागतिकीकरण मतलब क्या कि पूरा जो संसार है, पूरा जो ग्लोब है, पूरा जो वर्ल्ड है वो आपस में ट्रेड कर रहा है. दे आर डिपेंडेंट ऑन ईच अदर, इंटर रिलेटेड इंटरेस्ट आर देयर. इज इट क्लियर? Okay. Globalization brought about many changes in the different fields like economy, politics, science and technology, and society and culture. So basically, guys, as I have told you, in 1991, we made economic reforms. That reform are called as LPG reform. It means what happened? Liberalization, privatization, and globalization. Okay, the same globalization in we did in the 1991. Because of that, what happened? Different companies come to India. They invested in India, and India got developed. Okay, so these are the different effects on the in the economy, in the politics, in the science and technology, okay, and science and society and culture. So now see, before the 1991, India were not too much developed. Okay, okay, our government was not allowing the foreign investment in the country. They are not allowing multinational companies to establish in India. Okay, and to invest in India. But after 1991, India started all these things. So that's why different changes occurred in the field of economy, science and technology, politics, science and society and culture. We have discussed some of these changes in the above paragraphs. Okay, whatever the scene we have seen in the above paragraphs also we have discussed it. India has emerged as an important country on the global scene in different spheres. Okay, it means what? India's importance has increased at the global level. ओके, दुनिया के लेवल पे हमारे देश का जो अहमियत है, ओके, हमारे जो देश की जो अहमियत है, जो इम्पोर्टेंस है, जो महत्व है, वो बढ़ गया है। और बहुत सारे क्षेत्र में भारत एक बड़ा कंट्री उभर कर सामने आया है, इमर्ज एज अ गुड कंट्री। ओके, इन डिफरेंट स्पीयर्स इंडिया इज एन इम्पोर्टेंट मेंबर ऑफ इंटरनेशनल ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस लाइक G20. Okay, G20 means a group of 20 countries. Okay, all the important countries in the world, 20 countries, okay, who are developed, who are developing, which are very good, economy is very good, these countries have group, it's called as G20. So India is also group of these 20 countries. It means India is a good country. India's economic is strong. Also BRICS: Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa. This is the group, okay, formed by 5 countries. India is also part of that. India has experienced an important revolution in the field of telecommunication technology. जो का टेलीकम्युनिकेशन टेक्नोलॉजी मैंने आपको बताया कि सैटेलाइट लॉन्च किए स्पेस प्रोग्राम के जरिए हमने, बिकॉज ऑफ दैट इंडिया हैज एक्सपीरियंस द इम्पोर्टेंट रिवॉल्यूशन इन द फील्ड ऑफ टेलीकम्युनिकेशन टेक्नोलॉजी. Mobile phones, internet, and communication facilities based on satellite have spread all across the country. It means whatever the facilities, whatever the services which are depends on the satellites, these are spread all over the India. For example, take the example of TV, dish TV. Okay, take the example of mobiles, internet. Okay, these are based on okay, satellite and spread all over the country. India has demonstrated in the political field. India has demonstrated to the world how a stable democracy can function successfully. Our country is a successful democratic country. All this has resulted in the total transformation in the lifestyle of Indians and especially in the youth. जो हमारा यूथ है, जो हमारा तरुण लोग है, कि वी कैन से जवान लोग है, हमारे पीपल है, यंग पीपल, तो उनकी लाइफस्टाइल बदली है। ओके, उनमें बहुत सारी चेंजेस आए हैं, वो बहुत सारे टेक सर्विस है, उनको टेक्नोलॉजी की फील्ड से बहुत इंटरेस्ट है. All this has resulted in transformation of the lifestyle of Indians and especially youth. These changes are visible from their dietary habits, clothing, language and beliefs. Okay, ये जो चेंजेस आए हैं हमारे यूथ में, हमारे सोसाइटी में आज के वक्त 21वीं शताब्दी में, because of the science and technology, because of the globalization, because of different research, because of the satellite telecommunication, okay, because of our economy strong, our habits are changed, dietary habits are changed. हमारी जो खाने की पद्धति है वो चेंज हुई है, हम अलग अलग चीजें खा रहे हैं. Our clothing has changed. You can see that people are wearing different types of fashionable dresses. Okay, language is changing. Okay, English is everywhere in the country. Also beliefs of the people are changing. So in the next chapter we are going to study some internal changes in the internal challenges before the India. अगले लेक्चर, अभी ये तो लेसन खत्म हो गया, लेकिन अगले लेसन में हम क्या करेंगे, भारत के सामने जो अंतर्गत चैलेंजेस है, इंटरनल अंतर्गत कलह, जो कोई प्रॉब्लम्स है, उसको हम डिस्कस करेंगे इन द नेक्स्ट लेसन, दैट इज थर्ड लेसन. सो टिल दैट you have to solve the exercise below the lesson. Okay, so is it clear to everyone, or anybody having any doubt in the field in this lesson? Okay, now I will provide you the exercise that is below the lesson and you have to complete it and you have to post it in the Google Classroom. Okay, Is it clear to everyone? Okay. So guys, I think you have not problem. Okay, no doubt right now. But while writing the exercise, if you find any problem, do ask me, kindly ask me in the next lecture. Okay, I will I will be happy to clear your doubts there. So till that, so tell me, how was today's lecture? Do you understand anything in that? Hello. Okay, all right. So guys, now bye, good night, take care, and goodbye to everyone. You can leave the class.